What's going on, everybody? We are live. You are listening to the S3. I'm JD. She is Ms. Lady M. We've got a really good show for you today on this Friday. Hopefully, your week is done, over, and for some reason, you're sitting at home listening to us. So we appreciate it. On today's show, we got some NASCAR, we got some MLB for the Diamondbacks and for the Red Sox. We're going to talk a little bit about NFL preseason week 2. We've got the brand new Jackass of the Week award coming up. Where
got a lot of competitors this week.
We've got a few that are competing for that spot, but one of them really sticks out. Basically, what we do is we pick an athlete that's either a jackass, done something extremely stupid, or completely ruined their career in one false move.
Right.
Which could be the case today. So we've got all that coming up real quick. Before we get into that, sports fans, turn your passion into a career with Sports Media X. Build your own sports brand, gain exclusive access, and monetize your content. Visit CoachChefDemers.com. Start your journey today with a 30-day free trial to the Sports Media X course, plus pick up some exciting free bonuses. Don't wait. Click the Sports Media X button on the homepage to learn more. Lady M, what's first?
Headlines and horrible dad jokes.
All right, the headlines might be horrible. The dad jokes definitely are. We'll let you be the judge. Headline number 1, new NBA schedule came out, and the Los Angeles Lakers will have 39 nationally televised games. New NBA season kicks off on Tuesday, October 22nd. You're probably thinking...
What is the normal amount of games to air in a season?
Well, I mean, they have 82 games, right? Yeah. There's 82 games, but half of them being nationally televised is a lot.
Okay.
Especially for a team that finished 8th in the Western Conference, 15th best team overall.
Right.
They're kind of sucking his dick. They're kind of sucking his dick really hard.
A little bit.
And I'm about ready to stick my finger in my throat and force myself to throw up. Like it's getting to be a little much. Yeah. Like there are other great teams, like Minnesota's up and coming.
Yeah.
OKC is up and coming. Like there's so many. Dallas, obviously, better team to watch than the freaking Lakers. And they're the number 1 team to watch. They suck. They did do the Celtics right. The Celtics do play the very first game of the season on Tuesday, October 22nd, opening night against the New York Knicks. That game will be followed by Minnesota at, you guessed it, the 8th place Los Angeles Lakers on opening night.
Yeah.
Why? What did the Lakers do to be able to host a game week 1 on opening night? Nothing. Didn't they get swept? Didn't they get swept? I mean, what is it that says you deserve to host a game on your home court opening night? You got swept. You deserve it. I'm so over this whole LeBron James. Like, we need to put him on everything, everywhere. He's 57 years old. He's an 8th place team.
Yeah.
They're the 8th place team that got swept out of the first round of the playoffs. Why are they on opening night? Why not OKC? Why not Dallas should be on opening night?
Opening night, yeah.
They were in the finals. It is so disrespectful. Dallas actually doesn't play their first game until that Thursday night.
It kind of puts you in that mode of like, what would be the point of trying then? In a little bit, right? Because if you can't compete with the superstardom of one individual in the sport, so no matter how good your team is or what you're doing, you're going to get overlooked.
It's such a slap in the face to all the other good teams in the Western Conference.
Is. And the players and
Yeah.
Other individual players that are worthy of the rock star status, like Joker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Put Denver up there.
Right?
Seriously? The
Right.
Lakers. Opening night. There's only 2 games on opening night. You got the
Joker
Lakers hosting a game on opening night.
almost
Ah,
single-handedly pushed us out of the running for a medal at the Olympics.
yeah, just by himself
Just
against
by himself.
27 pro athletes.
Right. Including the one in question.
Yeah. Come on.
Anyways.
We'll talk a little bit more about Mr. LeBron James later. All right. First joke. What do you call a line of men waiting to get haircuts?
I have no idea.
A barbecue. A barbecue. Queue.
Yes.
All right. Moving on. Headline number 2. The Patriots lost to the Eagles last night 14-13 in their second preseason game. Drake May went 6 for 11 for 47 yards. Didn't really light it up, but he did get that one rushing touchdown. Pats head coach Gerard Mayo said the competition for starter between Brissett and May is still open after Brissett went a meager 3 for 7 for 17 yards and an interception. So, as Patriots fans, we've been told by the leadership of the Patriots that we brought Brissett in because Brissett's going to be the starter and Drake May is going to learn. He's going to sit. He's going to do it the right way. He's going to sit and learn just like Brady did.
Right.
Now he's like, well, he could start week 1.
Right.
Up in the air. Week 1. Not even week 4 or 5 or 6 after we've lost 3 out of 4 games.
He's definitely
he could start.
Got the potential to be explosive, but like that is a dangerous thing. I think that happens in football a lot is they put the young guy with no experience up and there's just major burnout almost immediately, like striking a match.
I mean, you're going to have to start in next week with the ones to see how he is because he's not getting any reps right now with the ones. It's been 2s or more, right? 2s or worse. So how are you just going to be like, Drake May could be the starter, but he hasn't actually played any time with the starters.
Right. Even if they gave him a quarter or something in a game, that'd be fine. But I'm a little nervous about the potential there. Anyways.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot that can go wrong. He's a rookie. All right.
Yeah.
This morning, Siri said, "Don't call me Shirley." I realized I accidentally left my phone in airplane mode. You have to be a certain age to get that one.
If you haven't seen the movie, go. Just go right now. Pause
First off, welcome to Earth. Go watch the movie Airplane. All right. Headline number 3, Austin Dillon and the number 3 team penalized and had their playoff status revoked after the last lap contact last week. NASCAR Senior Vice President Elton Sawyer said it was clear that a line had been crossed. Joey Logano also fined $50,000 for angrily weaving through people on pit road after the race to get to Dillon's pit stall.
Did they fight? I don't remember hearing about that.
Fight. What happened was Logano was a complete idiot. Totally right to be upset.
Right.
With getting taken out. Right. Totally right to be upset. But like I've been on pit road as a media member, as a cameraman, as a photographer. There are a lot of people running up and down pit road, taking down gear, cleaning up stalls. There's crew members celebrating. He is doing burnouts, trying to get to like with all these people walking around, like ducking and diving, like really not diving, but they move pretty damn fast because Logano was coming through until one of the NASCAR security just took a beeline right for the front of Logano's car and made him stop and then chewed his ass out. $50,000.
Well, that sounds like he earned it though, because that is really incredibly dangerous. And no matter how
that's
like park your car and get out and run over if you're that angry.
Yeah, pull a Clint Boyer, chase him to his hauler, and then try and fight him. Right? That's the way it's supposed to go.
There had been a fight. Like he only won by deliberately wrecking two others. And that's very like they let him keep the win. Which means
if it was just Logano, he may have gotten through. But
Right.
after that, because NASCAR went
Scrambling.
through and listened to the audio
Yeah.
from the spotter and the crew chief, and you could hear the spotter yelling, "Wreck him, wreck him."
Right.
And he wrecks.
Like there was no way for them to pretend that it was an actual accident. Like they deliberately,
Right.
purposefully crashed a bunch of cars so they could win.
Now, with that being said, if it was my favorite driver, Kurt Busch, in second place, I would have been at home yelling, "Wreck him, wreck him, freaking wreck him." Because you have to get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You have to get in the playoffs. If you have absolutely no shot of getting in the playoffs, your only shot is to win, and you're in second place. Everybody who's a fan, everybody who's a team member, whether they're saying it or thinking it, is going, "Wreck him."
You still got to make it look like an accident. You can't.
They didn't. I mean, it happened kind of fast. It happened kind of fast. All right. Real quick question for you. If prisoners could take their own mug shots, would they also be called selfies? CELL, because they're put into a cell. Anyway, all right. We told you they're horrible dad jokes. All right.
Awful.
Next headline: Major League Baseball is actually working on a primary innings goal where the starter would need to pitch a minimum of 6 innings.
That feels like a lot for baseball.
It's a lot because here's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get more out of the pitchers,
right?
To be more strategic than just coming in and throwing 100 for 4 to 5 innings,
right?
And because they're coming in and they're throwing as hard as they possibly can, there are a lot of injuries going on right now with some really good pitchers.
Yeah.
Right. So they figured if it's not so much velocity, but they're looking more, if you can not concentrate, you can still throw 92 to 95, but concentrate more on control, like nailing that slider, nailing that changeup, where it's going. So this isn't something that, even if they agree on it, it's not going to change next season. This is something that they're going to work up through the minors. Right. Just like they did with the pitch clock and everything else that they changed this year. It was already in the minors, as a test to see how it looks before it's brought to the majors. So I would say this is easily a year or more out. Yeah. But at the same time, that gives these starting pitchers the opportunity to find another pitch.
Yeah.
Like if you're a starting pitcher with primarily a slider, a fastball, and a changeup, maybe you can also work on a curve so you don't have to rely on that fastball so much.
Yeah. Mix it up.
So, I mean, it is what it is. It's a good idea, I think. I'm just wondering if, like, right now, in order to qualify for a win, you have to last 5 innings and leave with the lead.
Yeah.
Are they going to make the win qualification 6 innings as well?
Interesting.
The only way they're allowed to come out, according to the preliminary rules that they've drawn up, is if they've hit 100 pitches, they've allowed 4 runs or more, or they're injured. Other than that, they have to go 6 innings. So going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what's up. If you're watching the live, go ahead and leave in the comments. Say what's up to us. Be nice, be mean. Doesn't really matter. Let's see here. Final joke. All right. So why do people in Athens rarely get up before sunrise?
You have no idea.
Because dawn is tough on Greece. Thought you knew that. Thought everybody knew that. All right. What's next?
What to watch? NFL preseason week 2.
That's so stupid. Dawn is tough. All right. So what I'm looking at, there's a few different storylines that I am looking at. Russell Wilson set to make the Steelers preseason debut against Buffalo. Justin Fields obviously will be the backup, but Russell Wilson's still trying to solidify that starting position. Justin Fields did absolutely nothing in week 1 to say I should be the starter. He looked terrible. Broncos, Bo Nix did not look terrible. He is actually going to see more reps with the starters in the home preseason matchup against Green Bay. Nix actually threw for 125 yards and a touchdown last week against the Colts in limited time. Denver also has Zach Wilson, former Jet Zach Wilson, and former Patriot and Raider Jarrett Stidham for quarterbacks. So it's a pretty good shot. Bo Nix, as a rookie, could get that starting slot in Denver. Speaking of rookies, Cardinals rookie wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. will try to actually get his first catch of the preseason against the Colts. Cardinals will sit out Kyler Murray, has sit him out, and is rumored to be keeping him out for the entire preseason. This I do not like. I'm tired of these kid gloves with Kyler Murray. You know, we're sorry we said that you had to watch more game film. We're sorry that we're expecting you to do a little bit more as a leader. Oh, by the way, you don't have to play it down in preseason because you've already won so freaking much here in Arizona.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
I don't know. It's not working. Clearly, whatever they're doing isn't working or helping them at all. The only thing I liked about the Cardinals last season was the black uniforms.
That was it. The entire season. That's it. Well, they obviously weren't that good because they had the number 4 overall pick in the draft.
Right.
Just a little bit better than the Patriots last year, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this is supposed to be practice. Like if you're not going to get in live game action,
right,
to see the timing of your wide receiver, your new number 1 wide receiver
before a live game.
Come on.
Like this is that's the thing. If I was a player, I would want the fake live game. I would want, to have that experience. It's like a dress rehearsal for a play. You want to have that experience before you get to the main show. So to sit out and it doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't make any sense to me either. On the other hand, Andy Reid says the Chiefs starters will play an entire half.
Nice.
Kyler Murray, who has won nothing, isn't even going to play at all in the preseason, but the defending, reigning NFL champions, their starters will be playing for an entire half.
Right.
Do you see the difference between a winning organization and a losing organization?
A little bit. A little bit, yeah.
All right. What's next?
NASCAR news and notes. NASCAR at Michigan.
All right. NASCAR at Michigan. Let me bring up my my NASCAR stuff. Where's my NASCAR stuff? There it is. All right. Starting out with the schedule, there are actually 3 races. One of them is currently going on. Actually, I think it'll be early Sunday. All right, so the first actual race of the weekend is NASCAR Xfinity Series. That, of course, is going to be at Michigan International Speedway, the 2-mile asphalt oval. That is at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, August 17th. The purse is $1.367 million. On TV on USA, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when that starts. You can also listen on radio, MRN Radio, and Sirius XM NASCAR Channel 90. The distance is 250 miles, also known as 125 laps. So they nailed the number again in the title. Stage 1 ends on lap 30. Stage 2 ends on lap 60. And the final stage ends on lap 125, unless there's overtime. On Sunday, the Craftsman Truck Series will actually be racing early at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's noon out west. That is on August 25th. Oh, that's next week. My bad. That's next week. They're going to be racing next week. So the Truck Series is off.
Okay.
We'll talk about them more next week. On Sunday, August 18th, that's when the Firekeepers Casino 400 happens at Michigan International Speedway. The time, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can watch on TV. That's on USA at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's when all the festivities kick off. The purse is $7.902 million. You can listen on MRN Radio and Sirius XM NASCAR Channel 90. The distance, again, 400 miles. That is 200 laps. Stage 1 ends on lap 45. Stage 2 ends on lap 120. And stage 3, so whopping 80 laps, ends on lap 200 unless Austin Dillon starts wrecking people or unless Austin Dillon gets wrecked, which is probably more likely this weekend.
Yeah, there might be some people gunning for revenge.
Yeah, that should be fun. All right, so let's start out with what do I want to start out with? Yeah, let's start out with this. 3 to go in the race to the regular season championship following another thrilling Richmond Raceway NASCAR Cup Series event. The points battle for the regular season championship has tightened with 4 drivers with 21 points within 21 points of the standings lead with just 3 races to go in the regular season. Hendrick Motorsports' Kyle Larson is currently atop the Cup driver standings, up 5 points on 23XI Racing's Tyler Reddick in second, and 6 points ahead of HMS teammate Chase Elliott in third. Reddick has moved into second following Richmond and posting his 6th straight top 10 finish and 9th in his last 10 races. Lurking in the tire tracks of the 3 frontrunners is Joe Gibbs Racing's Denny Hamlin, just 21 points back from Larson and within striking distance. All 4 will look to maximize their points this weekend at Michigan International Speedway to better their chances of taking home the prestigious NASCAR Cup Series regular season championship trophy and the 15 bonus playoff points that come with it following the regular season finale at Darlington Raceway on September 1st. Hendrick Motorsports teammates Larson and Elliott are each looking to become just the 3rd drivers since the inception of the regular season championship 2017 to win multiple regular season titles, joining my guy Kyle Busch in 2018 and 2019 and Martin Truex Jr. in 2017 and 2023. 23XI's Tyler Reddick and Joe Gibbs Racing Denny Hamlin are looking to add their names to the list, become the 6 different drivers to win a regular season championship in the NASCAR Cup Series. NASCAR Cup Series playoff outlook shaken up following the win penalty. Following the penalty issued by NASCAR on Wednesday, August 14th, Richard Childress Racing driver Austin Dillon's Richmond Raceway win will no longer grant him a spot in the playoffs, and he loses 50 points in the driver standings. As a result, the NASCAR Cup Series playoff outlook is shaken up, and now with just 3 races left, the regular season and 4 postseason spots still available, we know at least one driver will get in on points, making every point earned all season long that much more valuable. Thus far this year, 12 drivers have earned a spot in the NASCAR Cup Series playoff by virtue of their wins. That would be Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, William Byron, Ryan Blaney, Tyler Reddick, Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, not Brian Keselowski, which is his long-forgotten brother, Alex Bowman, Joey Logano, Daniel Suarez, and Austin Cindric. 4 drivers currently holding the final 4 playoff spots on points are Joe Gibbs Racing's driver and 2017 Series champion Martin Truex Jr. in 13th. His JGR teammate Ty Gibbs is in 14th. Bubba Wallace is in 15th. Chris Buescher currently in 16th. He is tied with Ross Chastain, but currently owns the tiebreaker in 16th and the final playoff position. Trackhouse Racing's Ross Chastain is tied in points with Buescher in 16th, but is still the first driver outside the playoffs cut line in 17th due to the tiebreaker. Next in the playoff outlook is Stewart Haas Race's Chase Briscoe in 18th, 99 points behind Buescher. Top 10 is where you want to be to start at Michigan. Qualifying is important each weekend in the NASCAR Cup Series, but even more so some weekends like this weekend at Michigan International Speedway, where 74.5% of the wins all time at the 2-mile track have come from the starting positions inside the top 10. Only 7 wins have come from a starting position outside the top 20. Interesting. Total of 24 different starting positions on the grid have resulted in victories in the NASCAR Cup Series at Michigan International Speedway. The first starting position is the most proficient starting position in the field, producing more winners, 22 to be exact, than any other starting position at Michigan. Active Michigan pole winners. Joey Logano has 4 poles. Brad Keselowski has 2. Christopher Bell, Bubba Wallace, Denny Hamlin, and Kyle Larson all have 1. Active Michigan race winners. Joey Logano's got 3. Kyle Larson has 3 wins. Denny Hamlin's got 2. And then Chris Buescher, Ryan Blaney, and then Kyle Busch, who badly needs a win in his last 3 races, has 1. All right. That is that. What's next?
Eyes on the diamond.
Eyes on the Diamond. This segment is brought to you by Podbean. Get your free 1-month trial of Podbean's unlimited podcast hosting plan by going to podbean.com/Coach JD. That is again spelled JD. Podbean.com/Coach JD. Let's talk about the Sox, the struggling Sox. Dare I say the smelly Sox, 4-6 in their last 10 games. Sox currently sit 8 games behind Baltimore and the Yankees. They sit 2.5 games outside of the final playoff spot behind Kansas City. Currently, they are in game 2 of the 4-game series against Baltimore. Sox lost game 1 yesterday, 5-1. The matchups for today, the Sox have Brennan Bernardino, 4-3, 3.79 ERA, going up against Corbin Burns, 12-4 record, 2.71 ERA. Last time I checked, they had a 2-run lead. It was 2-0 early on. I didn't want to actually say that, and I should have deleted that because I didn't want to jinx them. I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. All right. Saturday. Yeah, like, sure. The Sox, will have Brian Bello tomorrow against, he's 10-5, 4.97 ERA, going up against Cade Povich, who has an awesome 1-5 record, 6.27 ERA. And then Sunday, Sox will send Cutter Crawford, 8.90 record, 4.21 ERA, going up against Trevor Rogers with a 2-11, 4.89 ERA. So if the Sox can finish out the win today, there's a very realistic chance they can take 2 more and actually move up in the standings. Not up in the standings, but it'd probably be a little bit less behind the Baltimore Orioles. Let's talk about the D-backs, a.k.a. heart attack D-backs. What?
I don't know if you saw the score. It's 4-4.
Why did you tell me? I didn't want to know.
Everybody wants to know.
It's 4-4.
4-4.
Not superstitious. I am a little stitious. Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks are 9-1 in their last 10. And last time I saw, because I know you're going to look it up, they were winning. Are they currently winning?
I will look.
Arizona Diamondbacks today had Ryan Nelson with an 8-6 record, 4.51 ERA, going against Ryan Pepiot, Pepiot, P-E-P-I-O-T, 6-5, 3.92 ERA. What's the score?
2-1.
D-backs. All right. What inning are they in?
What? Oh, they're in the bottom of the 7th.
Thank you. All right. Tomorrow, Diamondbacks will have their ace, Zach Gallen, at 9-5, going with a 3.69 ERA, going up against Jeffrey Springs, who is 0-1 with a 4.61 ERA. Sunday, Merrill Kelly, who just made his return a few days ago, and I was actually at that game sitting in the press box. Kelly got the win, so he is currently 3-0 on the season with a 2.43 ERA, going up against Taj Bradley, 6-7, 3.49 ERA. So good matchups. The Diamondbacks haven't lost like a series in forever.
Yeah, they've been
in like a month. They haven't even lost 2 games in a row for like a month.
Right.
It's crazy. All right. What's next? the
S3's Jackass of the Week.
Jackass of the Week. This is a new thing where we call out the men and women who have everything because they're getting paid a lot of money, which is life-changing money, and they do little things to completely fuck it up. So this week we actually have 3 candidates. Usually I just try to find one. We have 3 candidates. Yeah. Let's see who the winner is. First off, we got that man, LeBron James.
Yeah.
Reported by Fox Sports, not ESPN at all.
Right. Which is ridiculous. It's the same parent company. So
yeah. Earlier this week at a post-gold medal party, LeBron James is recorded on camera completely embarrassing a kid, a preteen, or a very young teenager
11 to 14
just wanted to take a photo with him. Right. James is seen getting out of the car with his bodyguards because he's 6'8", 260 pounds, so he needs a bodyguard, especially against little kids who simply ask him for a photo. So the kid's coming up to him. You're in France. You're the greatest player in the world. You're probably never going to be in France again in public.
Particular little kid to ever just happen to run into you on the street. Yeah.
It wasn't paparazzi coming up to him trying to get him to sign a basketball. Right. It was a kid with a life-changing moment. And it's not
like he said, no, or I can't, I'm sorry, I'm busy right now. He stopped. You just stop it. Like,
yeah, he was like, stop.
Very rude and nasty.
Don't. Yeah, he said, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't try and get a picture with somebody that you idolize.
Right.
Come on, man. Now, I will say this. All right. I've always been critical of LeBron James on the court.
Yeah.
Because if you come out and you announce yourself as king before you even play your first game, you leave yourself open. So I've always been critical. Off the court, I've said it every week. I think he's a great dad. I think he's a good role model. I think, like, I say that stuff every week.
Yeah, you do.
But he showed his ass in this one.
Yeah.
Right? Because he wasn't even in a hurry. He was going to a celebration 20 feet from telling the kid to stop. He busted out his dance moves before giving his friends and family high fives and hugs.
Right.
You couldn't have taken a photo with the kid?
Right. Or at least just not been rude about dismissing him.
Come on.
There's a million different ways that could have gone that didn't have to be making the kid seem like he was stupid LeBron, for asking.
You can do better than that.
Yeah.
You're not in a hurry. You don't have a deadline. Like, you're not doing an interview. You're going to a party with your friends and family who are 20 feet away from you.
Right.
They can't wait for a 5-second selfie.
Right. It's not like there was a line of other people that it would have instigated a thing. It was just the one little guy by himself.
And again, to be fair, I've seen him do great things. Like, this is not an all-out attack on his character. Like, I've seen him give a Celtics fan a hug during a game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Meant the world to him. Right? I don't know the kid, but just seeing the smile on the kid's face probably meant the world to him.
Yeah.
Right? And then you have this kid who's in a completely different country who can't buy tickets to see you like 10 times or 50 times a year. Right? You're probably never going to be in his area again. Yeah. He was so excited running up to you. He had his phone ready, and you basically chastised him, and your security then pushed him aside after you walked by him. How small does that kid feel at that moment?
Right.
Also, what does that kid now think of you?
Right. Poor little guy.
You went from being his hero to the biggest asshole in the world. Come on, LeBron. All right, that's candidate number 1. Candidate number 2 is a little easier to pick out. And I'm not just doing it because, like, I went out to LeBron because he's a Laker. I know they're saying it. Jaren Duran is a Red Sox. He is an all-star for the Boston Red Sox. There are certain things that you can and cannot do as a professional player. While you're at bat, you cannot turn around and say, shut up, you fucking faggot.
Yeah.
to a fan that's yelling at him.
Yeah.
There are cameras, there are mics everywhere. All-star, leader on the team. You pull that. He got suspended 2 games for it.
Yeah.
He got suspended. He's already served the suspension. He's back in the lineup. He was back in the lineup yesterday. He came out and apologized like almost immediately.
Right.
Right.
But it's still slipped out of his mouth.
You can't do that.
You can't be making slurs.
Do that now. Even I, as a Red Sox fan, I'm starting to doubt the character of Jarren Duran.
Yeah.
Been cheering for him all year, and then I'm like, just like I've never said anything bad about LeBron's personal life off the court until now.
Yeah.
But even as big jackasses as both of them are, I have the winner of the Jackass of the Week award.
Oh dear.
His name is Michael Hall Jr. This was reported on ESPN. Browns rookie defensive tackle was charged with domestic violence in Avon, Ohio, after allegedly threatening a woman with a gun Monday night. Hall was arrested and booked on Tuesday. Bond set at $10,000 with a hearing set for September 10th. Now, with just saying that, you'd be like, he slipped up. Let me continue. According to the police report, Hall grabbed his fiancée and mother of his 11-month-old child, pressed a gun against her temple, and threatened, quote, "I will fucking end it all. I don't care." Also in the report, because he's not big enough of a jackass just yet, also in the report, Hall screamed at his fiancée to leave the house, grabbed her by the feet, and dragged her on her back down the driveway. Also, the women's mother corroborated the story, including details of the night before, where she says she witnessed Hall strike her daughter on the head with a baby bottle, choke her by her neck, push her head through a wall, and break open a bedroom door to drag her out.
Jesus.
This man should not have the privilege of playing in the NFL any longer.
Have the Browns suggested they're going to do anything towards it, or are they playing?
The Browns are waiting to get all of the facts.
Okay.
Which is what they're supposed to do.
Oh, yeah. Allegedly.
Then again, that's exactly what the Patriots said when Aaron Hernandez got arrested. Facts are pretty clear. They seem pretty clear. Yeah. They are what we think they are.
Yeah.
I like if he's found guilty, he should not be allowed to play in the NFL ever again.
Yeah.
0 second chances. He did this. He didn't just lose his temper and Ray Rice's her ass in the elevator and knock her out one time. Like he did it the night before, he did it the next day.
Well, even if you're talking about violence and the one-time thing and all that, there's 0 times that it's okay to hold a gun to somebody's head because you're mad. 0. Like, what if that thing had been a hair trigger? What if he didn't have the safety on, but he thought he had the safety on? You know, there's a lot of things that could have just even accidentally gone
Listen
wrong.
to me. Even if you're right, in this case, he is absolutely not. Even if you are right in an argument, you're an NFL player, you can afford to go stay at a very nice resort.
Right.
Let her stay at the house till things calm down. Tell her she has a week to go find a place.
Right.
Or you're an NFL player, go rent an apartment, a nice one.
Yeah.
Like they get paid plenty. He was a 2nd-round pick. That's millions of dollars. It's not like he's in the NFL right now for $125,000 a year, and he has to pay for the house and find a place to stay. He's a 2nd-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
He signed a contract for millions.
Yeah.
Walk away now.
Yeah. I agree.
You are the very first Jackass of the Week for the S3. Congratulations again, Mike Hall Jr. of the Cleveland Browns. You
Can we
just
do an
ruined.
honorable mention? Because you
Oh
did
yeah,
right already.
go ahead.
You know who I want to pick on? Rachel Reagan Gunn, the break dancer for Australia in the Olympics.
Oh my God.
It looks like if a toddler saw somebody breakdancing and then tried to mimic it, it's one of the worst. Like, it's bad by normal dancing standards. There's no excuse for how this woman made it to the Olympics. And I know the Australian people are basically outraged right now because she got a free French vacation out of it, is how they're looking at it. But what happened was the Olympics decided they didn't know how to judge breakdancing. So they like parsed it out to another company. And that company does ballroom dancing. And they're like, well, we don't know how either. So they parsed that out again. And it ended up being each local area had to have its own judgment system for who they were going to send to the Olympics. And
So who were the
her
judges?
and her husband are the people for Australia that got selected to pick who gets to go breakdance for the Olympics. And that's how she ended up there. It is one of the most atrocious performances I've ever seen. An embarrassment to the sport, to herself, to the nation. I'm very
I will
sorry,
say this. I've seen worse dancing, but not by much. I was a hip hop and R&B DJ for 18 years, and there's always the white guy that has a little bit too much to drink around 9 o'clock at night before the club even starts going. That's on the dance floor. That's what she reminded me
at the
of.
Olympics, though, representing his country.
It would have been a strong competition between those two.
Jackass.
It would have been a strong competition between those two. I'll tell you that much. All right. Don't forget, Sports Media X is live, the only course on the internet that combines the ability to build your own sports media brand with the marketing skills that allows you to 10x your growth through sales and sponsorships. Go to CoachJeffDemers.com and click on the info button for Sports Media X below the mission statement on the home page. Again, it's CoachJeffDemers.com. You can don't forget to check out all of our partners by going to CoachJeffDemers.com/partnerships. One final note, as always, shout out to our men and women in uniform, past and present. Thank you very much for your service and your sacrifice. Lady M, what is the final word?
Keep loving sports.